Are these hittable training aid golf clubs any good, or are they just a complete waste of your money and something you should entirely avoid? That's what I want to find out in today's video. So in front of me, I have 3 golf clubs: the Lagshot, the Gabe Golf Swing Trainer, and the Straight Stick. These are all hittable golf clubs that are training aids. When I was growing up, there was golf clubs that were training aids, but they were not hittable. There was the Medicus and then the Momentus or the Momentum when I was growing up. A weighted golf club that was meant to get you in great positions, and then a breakable golf club that if you didn't swing in the right position, the club would break and you get instant feedback. But you were never getting feedback of the strike, and things have progressed now where these clubs are allowing you to strike a ball and get feedback if you did it right based on your strike. One of them has been in my golf bag since 2016. One I've had for about 3 years and I just can't quite figure it out. And one I got just 2 weeks ago and I'm not too sure about it. This thing's meant to ingrain perfect contact. You're meant to hit twice the amount of greens in regulation. I think that's a crock. Honestly, I don't know what this thing does, and I don't think any decent player would benefit from this. The clicking mechanism, it's cool, but as I tested it, I couldn't get myself to click it before impact. I would only get it to click slightly after impact, which it's the release of the golf club. It's kind of showing you where you should release the club. You're not meant to be releasing it right at impact. You should be kind of releasing it slightly after impact. But even in rehearsing, I couldn't get the magnet to fly off early unless I set it on a really low speed. And that's another little criticism I would give this thing. You have speed settings for the speed of your 7-iron. 80-90% of golfers don't know how fast they swing a 7-iron, so how on earth would they know what setting to put it on? I'd probably put mine on right around 100. As I was practicing with that, it's not like it was really helping me with anything. The click was cool. I could tell when I clicked right at impact or slightly after impact. In rehearsals, same thing. If anything, this would benefit a better player by lowering the speed and making a slower rehearsal swing, a slower practice swing, a slower swing hitting the golf ball to make sure you aren't throwing it a little too soon or a little too late. In terms of the aesthetic, the look, I mean, they say this is designed by one of the greatest club designers of all time who made golf clubs for so many of the world's #1s and bests. It just looks like a Walmart golf club. I'm sorry, it just doesn't look. It looks almost identical to the Lagshot. The club head looks almost identical to the Lagshot. I will say the molded grip is an incredible, incredible idea. I don't understand why every golf training aid doesn't come with a molded grip. Ingraining the right way to hold a golf club with every swing you make, obviously, it's just a no-brainer. Every golf training aid should have one of these. This one is kind of cool too because you can adjust it between neutral strong and strong plus. I fight getting a little weak, so having this, if I were to be practicing with this, would just be doubly beneficial because it's giving me feedback on how I should be gripping the golf club in a more strong position to kind of combat when I get a little weak. Straight stick, you're all over the internet right now. I think this would benefit a higher handicap player by giving them some feedback on how to release the golf club and how they want impact to be. But beyond that, you're never gonna see a tour player use this. I don't think you're ever gonna see a top amateur use this. So it's linked below if you wanna test it out for yourself, if you don't believe me, but take with that what you want. I've had this for a few years. I like it, but I still don't really know what it does, and I don't really see a lot of benefit from it. 9 times out of 10, I hit it poorly. But even if I do hit it well, I don't really know what I'm doing to hit it well. It's claimed to help you get tremendous lag and load the golf club. Yeah, it definitely helps with your rhythm and your sequencing. I will give it that. It's rhythm, it's tempo, it's balance. It's a lot of good things, kind of matching up the arms with the body. The Lagshot does a lot of good things, and there's so many options. That is an amazing thing. There's a juniors ones, there's extra long ones for long drivers, there's women's ones, there's wedges, there's drivers, there's 7-irons. This product is amazing, but you gotta spend a lot of time with it to fully understand and reap the benefits. And it also needs to match up with what your kind of faults are. This isn't really anything that would benefit my faults. So for me, the Lagshot, I never experienced great benefit from it, but I gave it to my father-in-law when we were having a little lesson one day. He made about 5 swings with it, figured out how to hit it solid. He stopped shanking it. He was fighting the shanks, did this. So the Lagshot can help so many players. Aesthetically, it's nice. It's got some weight. The flimsy shaft is definitely strange, but then when you swing your regular club afterwards, it's almost like the old Momentous where it's the weighted thing gets you kind of moving better. The grip, I would love a molded grip on it. The grip that comes with it, it's a bit meh. They could have, or you could put your own grip on it. That's my only critique about kind of the overall build make of this thing. I like it. It just doesn't benefit me. I watch good players use this, so I'm not saying like the straight stick, like this just wouldn't benefit a good golfer. I watch really good players warm up with this and lean on this and trust this. Just for me and my motion and my flaws, the Lagshot just, look, all of my strikes are just out on the toe on this thing. No matter what I do, I just hit this thing dinky off the toe, and it's just not for me, but it's for a lot of players. Gabriel Hetsted, hopefully I pronounced that right, played on the PGA Tour, played on the Web.com Tour. I believe he won on the Web.com a couple times. He's an amazing coach now. I first hit one of these, I think in 2015, from a tour player who was working with Gabe who had this. This thing, you see it on tour. Gabe's students use it. Other tour players have been using this and continue to use it. This is an incredible training aid for really good players all the way up to novices, because even a novice, you can teach them some good things with this club. It feels like a regular golf club. It looks like a regular solid kind of cavity back-ish club at address. It doesn't look budget. I've re-gripped it, but it came with a good grip. And what this is essentially there's ball bearings in the shaft. And there's two modes or 2 speeds. You get it to the top, wait for the ball bearings to drop, fire. Or if you want to get it a little closer to like real swings, the minute you start to hear the ball bearings move, you fire. This has been incredibly beneficial for many, many years of practice. This lives in my golf bag. It's a warm-up club. It's a check-in club. It's so good for me because I struggle with loading it, rushing transition, and this is a sequencing wizard. It gets you loading the golf club properly, it gets you ready to fire in transition, and it gets you using your body properly through transition, and that's what I would fight. I would rush transition, the arms get out of sequence, my sequencing gets wonky. This thing, when I was playing my best golf in the last 7 years, was definitely part of every warm-up and every practice session. It would give me instant feedback of what I needed to do to load the club properly, let the lower body fire, and get a lot of speed in the process, because you can really crank this and try to get those ball bearings moving as fast as you possibly can in sequence, in rhythm. This is my favorite of these 3. I would say this is the best of these 3. I would highly recommend this one over the other 2, but all 3 I think could benefit varying types of golfers. But the Gabe Golf Swing Trainer is an absolute 5-star. Can't recommend this training aid enough. I hope you enjoyed this little dive into these 3 golf clubs. Hopefully there's something in here for you, because at the end of the day, if you practice with purpose, if you practice with efficiency, you will get better at this game. You will enjoy it more. So I can't recommend getting the proper training aids enough.